Hi, I'm Kat, and today I'm showing you part 4 of the Dollar Tree to Luxury Makeover series. This one is a mission desk, complete with a hutch. And in order to make this particular piece happen, I had to add a couple of extra materials. Namely, I had to use 6 popsicle sticks and 3 coffee stir sticks. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Now this is the 4th desk makeover I've done, and this desk is actually in the best condition out of all of them so far. Everything is mostly straight on this. The biggest problem is I do need this bottom piece here, the one where it's been stamped, and in order to do this I have to pull it apart. So I'm going to start by pouring acetone all over the piece. I start by pulling off the knobs, which, as you can see, the wood is really soft, so it's splintering, and the knobs came out by pulling off other pieces of wood. And then to cut the legs off, I used my blade, and as you can see, the first one came off really quickly, and the second piece was not that difficult either. In fact, the whole thing was relatively easy to pull apart comparatively to the other pieces so far. And even when it's time for this particular piece to come out, the back piece, the piece that I'm breaking the whole thing apart for, all I really had to do was to score it along the back end, and just like that, it slid right out. Wow. So this is a really soft piece of wood, and I'm not exactly sure why, but we'll work with it. So firstly, I had to fill in with some wood putty those gaps that I left when I pulled out the knobs. So some wood putty and some light sanding, and then I'm going to make this ready to add an additional set of drawers. I'm going to use one of my coffee stir sticks at the bottom here, and I just glued that straight across the layer of drawers. And I used one popsicle stick that I cut into 2 smaller pieces that would be the sizes of the smaller side drawers, and I beveled them slightly using a nail file and glued those in place. Next, I added additional pieces of the same popsicle stick onto the sides to give the illusion of drawers that open and close. Because I don't need this piece to work, I did leave the sides and the backs of the drawers incomplete. Next, I'm going to glue the side pieces and the legs back on and allow the whole thing to dry before continuing. Then, the bottom piece that I retrieved is now going to go along the top as a hutch. I use an additional popsicle stick that I've cut into small pieces to be the length of that bottom piece, and I glued those on the sides. Once I have the sides lined up, I'm going to add another popsicle stick along the top to close it in, and then I cut out another popsicle stick that was slightly smaller. You'll see that in a moment. And then the side pieces here that I'm using are actually left over from the bench last week. If you recall, I took the side pieces off of the bench and said I was going to throw them away, and I did. I put them in my trash can, but they never made it out to the garbage can. So here they are again, dug out from the trash can and now acting as doors on my hutch. I added some additional popsicle sticks along the bottom to form the side rails, the bottom side rails, and the bottom back rail. And then, to give the classical mission shaping and styling, I've added some coffee stir sticks. This is the remaining 2 cut into 3 slats for each side and 5 slats for the back. And for the most part now, I have a completed desk and hutch. I just need to paint and add some hardware. Now, I was going to originally stain this, but the stain was going to keep bringing that soft wood up a little bit more, and no matter how much sanding I seemed to do, it just wouldn't sand out. So I decided to just give it 2 good coats of paint. And then for the hardware, I'm using 5 pieces of coffee stir stick that I've cut into squares and 2 that I've cut into rectangles. Then I'm using 7 jump rings. I've used super glue to glue the jump rings directly on top of the pieces of wood. And then once I allowed the super glue to dry thoroughly, I painted all of the pieces. I used the rectangular pieces to go on the faux cabinet doors, and I've used the square pieces to go on the faux drawers. And then of course I used some glossy varnish for all the wood parts. And added some small accessories. And that's it, you're done. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.